Welcome back to the IBFP. Here's your host, Foxy New.
Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back to Who's the Best, our new series. Now, who's the best out of this young crop of fighters, the next generation at 135 pounds? And those fighters include Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Tank Davis, Teofimo Lopez, and Devin Haney. And you know what? Let's just break it down a little bit as well. You see that, Ryan Garcia is coming out stating that he's not impressed with Teofimo, Devin Haney, or Tank Davis. You also see things like, Teofimo coming in and ripping apart Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, saying they both need to step up. And you continue to see different things like Gervonta Davis telling Ryan Garcia he has a better chance of beating the coronavirus than beating him. So, who's the best out of these guys? Who has the most potential? Who has the most upside? So let's just go ahead and rank these guys and be honest and objective about it. And number one on the list has to be Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez is the most accomplished guy out of this group of fighters in the next generation. Teofimo Lopez is the IBF champion. He's a proven fighter, and he was proven when he stopped Richard Commey. That's his best win on his resume. Even a win against Nakatani was a quality win. And, and Richard Commey, he doesn't always get a lot of credit for that win. That was a 50-50 fight. A lot of people thought that he was going to struggle. It was going to go the distance, and yet he stopped him early. So you give him a lot of credit for that. Teofimo Lopez has shown at times that he has elite power for the division. So we have to rank Teofimo Lopez number one as of right now. But, some of his boxing skills and abilities that we have not seen yet are a cause for concern, and he may be overtaken at some point. The next two fighters on the list, they're tied at number two. So I have Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney tied at number two. These guys are interchangeable. I know some people rank one above the other, but to me, they're interchangeable at number two. And let me explain why. When you look at Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, they both have shown flashes of brilliance. Both have shown elite attributes in the ring at times. Both of these guys have huge potential to even be great fighters one day. But the problem with both of these guys is that they're both unproven. Both are in desperate need of a step up at some point to back up all this talk. You also see that Devin Haney being an email champion doesn't make him a proven fighter at this point. Let's just be honest and unbiased. Both of these guys need to have step-up proven fights against guys like Jorge Linares for Ryan Garcia and Luke Campbell for Devin Haney. Those are the type of fights that'll let us know, hey, where these guys really are on the spectrum, at this point in their career. All of these guys are young. All of these guys are exciting. And these guys have shown some elite attributes, some elite skills. So, the future's bright for these guys. Both of these guys could be superstars one day if they live up to their potential. But as of right now, based on, the way they've been handling opponents, but also being unproven, both of these guys are tied at number two. And then coming in last place at number three is Gervonta Davis, a.k.a. Gervonta Stank Davis, a.k.a. Gervonta Cheeseburger Davis. And you know what? The nicknames pretty much tells it all. Look at it like this. Gervonta Tank Davis has shown at times, early in his career that he was a good fighter, an exciting fighter, a fighter with a lot of potential to be even a potentially great fighter one day. But he's literally throwing it down the drain. And let me explain to you why. One, the fact that Gervonta Tank Davis, is not facing better and better competition. The guy, is constantly being put in these type of cherry pick fights that are not truly challenging him in a way he needs to be challenged so he can develop at a higher level. Gervonta Tank Davis is being hyped beyond belief. There's some people that, even putting this guy in a pound for pound, it makes no sense. He's nowhere near a pound for pound fighter, nor is he elite. He has shown power in lower weight classes and has won belts in lower weight classes. So I give him credit for that. He is a quality fighter, but he is not an elite fighter. But he also appears to be one-dimensional, and that was highlighted against a guy like, Yuri Yorkis Gamboa. This is a 40-year-old fighter on one leg, and Gervonta Stank Davis was gassing out at times in that fight, punching himself out at times in that fight. He wasn't able to cut off the ring against a one-legged fighter and get the stoppage earlier. It literally took him up into the 12th round to get the guy out of there. That's purely disgusting. You can't go in there with a one-legged guy and it takes you 12 rounds, and the guy's already 40 years old. The guy's already extremely chinny. It just doesn't make sense. Not only these things are issues, but he's had issues missing weight on the scales. He's moved up in weight and missed weight initially, and they had to give him time. So we got to be honest and unbiased. His discipline issues is also going to be another factor. The factor that he's one-dimensional, the factor that he has discipline issues with his weight. And and you also look at other things like his chaotic personal life that could derail his entire career. He's more concerned with fighting his baby mama on the pay-per-view than anyone at 135. But once again, unbiased as always, it's the IBFP.